Hey there, YouTube land, and I just got back from watching a fantastic film. Well, I guess that kind of gives away the review part of it, but let's talk about it a bit. It's based on a Lawrence Block book, one of his Matthew Scudder books, uh, called Walk Among the Tombstones. Now, the character of Scudder is played by Liam Neeson, who pretty much plays it to perfection. Can't remember having read many of these books, but I have read a lot of Lawrence Block, so there's a good chance that I may have read this and not read this. No, well, not this book. I think I would remember this book. I would remember one of these characters' books without even knowing it. I'm a big fan of these type of novels. Uh, Robert B. Parker is one of my favorite authors. Sue Grafton. Uh, I like Block. I love the feel of this type of stuff, and the killers in this movie are definitely creepy and memorable. You will remember these guys. Uh, and some of their antics will be kind of haunting. It's very much in the vein of my better half described it as kind of like a late '70s, kind of almost like a kind of a nouveau film noir-esque thriller, and definitely has that type of feel to it, especially with the way the camera angles are done, the way that the film type of film that was used, and the way that the lighting and the colors are done. Um, I find it to be a lot like it. Pretty much, it's a pulp novel type of story. It's a thriller. Scudder is a police officer. Well, he's an ex-police officer that has had something really bad happen in his past that has made him basically a. Well, he hits the bottle even harder than he was hitting it before, and he's knocked off the force. We see him 10 years later, basically sitting down at a diner when one of the AA members from his group comes up and asks him for some help. It turns out that his brother had his wife kidnapped. This is where you would assume that it was going to be like him getting back the wife type thing. And this is when it takes its first turn. The wife is already dead. We find this out early on, but they kind of lead you to believe, kind of leave it a little foggy at first to make you wonder, kind of, is the wife, playing her husband, kind of for a chump? But you find it really fast to know the wife is actually dead. It's not a mystery who these killers are. It's kind of a slow reveal, and it's in the way of it's a thriller. Think of Silence of the Lambs, in the way that the killer is kind of a sick, twisted, and there's like a slow revelation. There's no Hannibal Lecter or anything like that, but in the way that the killer's done, in the projection of the killer, it is it's very Silence of the Lambs, the kind of killer that they use. It reminds me a lot of oh God, there's a couple of killers that were used in some of those. God, I think it's one of the Women's Murder Club ones that had kind of a similar feel to it. Or was it a Jesse? Oh man, I read a lot of these novels. Anyway, Liam Neeson's a pretty much he's washed out. He's Liam Neeson in this one. He's the tough guy, but it's different. He's got more of an edge to him. He meets this kid that's a really good artist, and turns out that he has a problem of his own. Everybody in this one is kind of flawed. There's no perfect people in this film. It's really is a throwback to those old '70s films, but even more so than that, it's a throwback to the old film noirs from back in the day. The old not the gangster, but like the actual old nobody gets out of it unscathed kind of film noir type thing, and it does a really good job. Uh, the movie runs 113 minutes long, and I'll be honest with you, it's a quick 113 minutes. There's never a point in the film you're bored or you're going to get up. You are going to be watching till the movie's over. I would be really surprised if this was one that you're going to actually take a bathroom break or anything for. It's a fantastic film. I wouldn't say it's got a slow burn, but it has a unique feel and pace to it. It's got a very '70s-ish feel and pace to the film. The characters are very much, if you read not so much the Spencer TV series, but if you read the Spencer books, without the lightness in the in some of the Spencer novels. It's got, you kind of get a feel of like a disjointed family is coming together. People that in other worlds would never, interconnect, are due to like an amazing amount of circumstances are interconnecting and kind of leaning on one another without even knowing it. Which doesn't tell you a lot about the film, but anyway, the film is fantastic. Really, go in and discover it yourself. It's about Matthew Scudder going after two very, very sick individuals. Uh, these are killers in the worst and most disgusting way. There's some very, very darkness in this here. I wouldn't recommend it to like younger kids. There's no real nudity in this, but there are a couple disturbing scenes. And
Well, that's the thing. There's no gore or anything.
yeah, there's no gore, no real gore.
But you feel
Yeah, you do. But it does.
atmosphere.
Yeah, it's got a great atmosphere, and it gives you. There's a couple scenes that, and they're well done, but you feel kind of dirty after watching them, and that's not a bad thing. Actually, that's a compliment to the film that they're able to like really get it across that way. Uh, Hands down, go see this movie in the theater.
We went to see a mindless action movie and we didn't get that.
Yeah, we went to see a mindless action movie and we didn't get it. We got something that we could really think about and sink our teeth into. A Walk Among the Tombstones is really, really worth checking out. I'm not going to give away any more because you should really check it out. Yeah, I'm not telling you a lot, am I? Go find out. It's a fantastic film. We're going to give this one
4.5 garbage bags.
You're going to give it 4.5 garbage bags. I'm going to give it 4.75. And honestly, for me, it's almost a perfect film of this type. It is a perfect of this type. In this genre, it is a 5 out of 5. No doubt about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Go watch Walk Among the Tombstones. You will thank me for it. It is a fantastic film, and I got to be honest, this is one that I will be picking up when it comes out on Blu-ray. Have a great night, and for me right now, it's definitely time for tea. Liam Neeson really rocks.